said, by the power of Grayskull.
Hello, this is just another review. This is for Star Wars Fallen Jedi. It's been out a while, but I've just lent it off my friend because I didn't get round to buying it, and I totally forgot about it, to be honest. My friend had it, so I've lent it off him, and I'm starting it. But this is just my first impressions. It's very Dark Souls crossed with a little bit of Tomb Raider, I would say. Or maybe Uncharted kind of game where there's lots of traversing the environment, climbing things and climbing along, bouncing along poles and shit like that. The combat's quite good. It gets a bit get used to. You've got a last minute parry, to do that sequence there. You've got to tap block just before the strike, and then you've got it opens them up. It stuns them enough to attack, because the AI is quite good. They will block every single attack, but everyone's got a stamina bar, so the more you get hit, it makes that go down, and then your block opens up. See how I've deflected the blasters there? It's again just by pressing L1, you block at the very last second. Squares to attack, triangles to attack, circles to evade, X's jump. You do get, because where I'm up to now, I've just unlocked my what was it? It was the wall run. That's it. So now I can wall run, and you find that you have to keep going back to places that you've already been, because now you've got new powers. So it's a bit like Tomb Raider in that respect. You've got to go back on yourself a lot, which annoys me. It's one thing about Batman I hated, you having to keep going back to areas I've already been, to just to go through a vent or something like that you couldn't do before. But the AI, like I said, it's very hard at the start. It's got a steep learning curve, but it's not totally impossible. You've just got to get used to it. It does help to lock on to people. Once you've locked onto someone, then you can just circle out the way and you'll always keep looking at them, or you can just freestyle it and just block any incoming attack and just be quick on the buttons. It just depends. But there's nice little sequences like this where you're out in the world and you're in a cave or something like that, and you're getting through a little crack, and the graphics are good. I mean, that's one thing I do like about it. And of course it's all Star Wars universe, so it's got a really good theme to the game. All the starships and all the enemies are from the Star Wars universe, so it's better than just an average, a plain generic space game or something like that, adventure game. So I do like that. It's the story mode is I think it's about 10 hours long, or 9 or 10 hours long, so it's not the longest, but again, there's lots of going back on yourself. So if you're going to just do a speed run, then that's one thing. But if you're going to play the game properly, go around finding everything. There's lots of things to collect, crates to find, and force orbs to unlock more stuff. But what I didn't see, it's very fiddly. That's another thing. When you're trying to jump and grab onto something, you've got to make sure. There's one bit where I was sliding down an ice bank, and then I had to jump and grab onto a rope, but because the ice bank went round a corner, you have to position yourself perfectly on the entry of the corner so you come out in line with the rope, because a lot of the times I would be missing the rope, and it just became very frustrating. But it's, like I said, it's not impossible to do. So your health flashing there, you do get your little BD1 little companion. It's like R2D2 kind of thing, and he gives you stim packs, but you can only hold 3 at a time. Well, that can at the moment. I'm sure you can get more, but your health does go quickly, and you get health back by defeating enemies. So it's like I say, it's a lot like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, shit like that, where it's the fighting is difficult. It's not a walk in the park. Normally with these lightsaber Star Wars games, it's literally just parry and Like, you know, like there's a sequence, you just mash square and you're doing combos galore. Whereas on this, you do feel like you've got a bit more control over the combos and shit that you're actually fucking that you're actually using. But yeah, it's one of those games where it makes sense to play it, because if you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna absolutely love it. You know, it feels great when you're taking on a load of stormtroopers. Some have got like batons, some have got guns, some have got rocket launchers, and you're just like taking them all on using your force. I've only unlocked one force power. I've only unlocked force freeze, but you get force push, and you get something else. You get your lightsaber throw, and you get something else. But there should have been like Jedi mind trick. There should have been like a lot more different Jedi powers. I think they missed a trick there, having only 3 Jedi powers. See, I see the buttons there. It's like I'm tapping X to jump up, and I got to the top and then jumped off the platform. There's lots of fiddly buttons like that, but like I say, it doesn't spoil the game. But this is just the first quick impression. I love it. I'm going to keep playing it and see how it goes. So if you like the look of it, then definitely go and get it if you haven't already, because it's definitely worth a play. It's a great game, Star Wars as well. So definitely go and try and get it if you can. It surely get a decent price second hand. So that's it really. So say there.
You see anyone else? Is that it?
You are a smelly pirate hooker.